either. So you may be wondering now, well, what is the tech stack? What is the programming language that you would use in order to create such apps? Well, in order to understand the answer to this question, you have to take a look at what happens when people click on these links that are being passed around. Presumably, they will go to some beautiful landing page, which would be really convincing and get the person to continue further on into your actual interaction. And so you may think, well, you're going to need strong web design skills, Photoshop, Illustrator, CSS, JavaScript, HTML. And yeah, you can do it all by yourself, but at the same time, you could also outsource a lot of this stuff because there's a lot of third-party web services and platforms, so you don't necessarily have to do it on your own. When you think about email marketing software as well, like, yeah, you can go there and build your own SMTP mail servers and deal with spam and deliverability issues, but there are also third-party services out there as well. And so, I think what you really need is going to be a mix of these third-party services and microservices and platforms out there that help you create landing pages with email marketing software, glue things together, in addition to some custom code that you'd be writing in order to also build your own software as a service platform. And so as I was looking this up, I came across these terms like the low-code movement or no-code movement, which refer to the idea that you don't necessarily have to code every single thing out yourself because there are so many third-party platforms and services out there that can help take the place of several parts of your business. I think that, combined with custom web code and custom backend jobs, may be the tech stack of the future.
All right, guys. So, we're going to kick off this video with, we all just heard what the tech lead said, right? And I just kind of wanted to build on, some of those ideas, right? So the whole idea is this, right? What is software development transforming into, right? What's the future of software development, right? So before we really go into the future, we need to go into some history, right? Because a lot of people don't actually understand, right? The internet, as we know it, is not that old, right? Software development, as we know it, is not that old, right? So as we all know, things have always evolved. We have always moved from one way of doing things to the other, right? Now we have a lot more flashier frameworks and code bases that we use, right? A lot of the tech community is basically now open source, right? So, a lot of people are still confused as to what the future of building products are. And like the tech lead said, right, there's this movement called the no code, right, or low code. It depends on your perspective, right? The whole idea is this, right? You don't necessarily have to code things from scratch, and that just makes sense, right? That's where technology is moving into right now. You don't have to create a an authentication system from scratch every single time you need to do an authentication, right? You don't have to create a back end to do tasks that thousands of other developers have already done. There are a lot of platforms that allow for easier integration into technology stacks, like Firebase. Like, I use Firebase, right? I'm a designer, and in 2020, I was able to build my first product all by myself. Why? Because I built it in the modern way, right? But this doesn't mean that you don't have to learn how to code. There's this misconception about no code, meaning, you don't have to learn how to code. You're always going to learn how to code. Coding is an essential skill in the tech ecosystem as a whole. It's like saying you want to be a fish, but you don't want to learn how to breathe under water. It doesn't make any sense because you eventually drown, right? You need to learn how to code. No matter what no-code stack you're going to use, you're going to need some custom code to do some custom things, right? If not, like you're just going to have a giant web of services that you're going to be trying to manually manage all the time, and that's just not scalable, and it doesn't make any sense, right? So the future of software development is pretty easy, right? We are going to be using more services, like things like Firebase, AWS, Google Cloud. They have a wide array of services that you don't have to code from scratch. If you want to build any machine learning app, you can just plug into Google's machine learning service easily. You don't have to build that from scratch anymore. In fact, it's stupid to build things from scratch. And this new paradigm affects both ends, right? It affects both the designers and the developers. And I'm kind of trying to go explain how it affects both and how I think both should be thinking about it. I'm a designer, right? And it affects me in a way that I can now code. I'm now empowered to learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and learn all these services like Firebase and Google Cloud. And that just makes me a full stack designer, right? I can build my own product from scratch by myself, a single man team. This would have been so expensive and so impossible to do just 5 years ago, right? But now it's possible, right? For the developers, they are now being abstracted a little bit out of the equation, where they're being pushed more into the back end and more into DevOps and managing things. So, you know, so I feel like they see this more as a threat than designers. I think designers should see this as an opportunity, because it is an opportunity. Because now, for the first time ever, you can learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, jump into React and start building a web app, learn Firebase and build the back end and link it with MailChimp, handle it like your emails, link it with whatever like service that you have in mind using their APIs. You can use Zapier, but it's almost better to use their APIs, right? Link it, send the request, and you have a full app, and you didn't have to build anything from scratch. So this is the future of software development, and I would encourage every single one of you watching this to don't cry about the future, right? Embrace it, find out where your strengths lie, but just be assured that the way we have been building apps in the past has completely changed. We're in a new paradigm, and there's a rise of designers who are coding, and these designers who are coding have the tools to build full stack applications. And anybody, even if you aren't even a designer, anybody in 2020 has the tools to build an application, right? Coding or not coding. So that's what I think about the future of technology and software development. And that's what I think about the no-code movement. It doesn't mean you're not going to code. You're still going to have to write code, right? You can't be running away from coding. You're still going to have to learn how to write code. But it's not going to be as much code as you would have needed to write 2 years ago or 3 years ago. You won't have to build an authentication backend from scratch, or you have to build a file uploading backend from scratch. You don't have to build an image processor from scratch. You can just plug into existing services, but you're still going to have to need code to link those services together. So that's my thoughts, guys. Hope you like this video. I'm going to be sharing more design coding related video. I want everyone who is inspired by the future and who is not afraid of it to subscribe. Hit the subscribe somewhere here, and yeah, share this video with your friends if you like it, and talk to you guys later. Bye.